It is a quiet evening. You are sitting on your sofa when the doorbell suddenly rings. You open the door to find a neat cardboard box sitting on your porch, a package from Amazon. As you tear open the tape, your heart beats faster. You pull out a gadget you don't really need. At that exact moment, a rush of pure excitement floods your brain. You feel a sudden, satisfying high. But within minutes, the excitement dissolves. The gadget is placed on a shelf, forgotten, joining the clutter. Why do we do this? Why does our brain push us to buy things we have no use for? To answer this, we must strip away the modern world and travel back 99% of human history, to a time when shopping malls and delivery boxes did not exist, to the unforgiving prehistoric savanna. Imagine being a prehistoric hunter-gatherer. Every single day of your life is a desperate quest for survival. As you walk, your eyes scan the ground. Suddenly, you spot a smooth, sharp piece of flint stone. This is a massive jackpot. This stone can be shaped into a spear tip to secure meat or a scraper for hides. Further down the path, you find a pile of dry, fallen wood, another critical resource for the night. You gather them quickly, holding them close. In the Stone Age, finding useful objects was a rare miracle. Every item you found, a sharp rock, a dry branch, a patch of berries, directly increased your chances of staying alive. Ancestors who ignored these small treasures, or who were too lazy to pick them up, did not survive. They were filtered out by natural selection. You are the descendant of the ultimate foragers. Your brain was shaped by millions of years of scarcity. It is programmed to find, acquire, and keep resources. This is the evolutionary mismatch. The ancient instinct that kept you alive is now driving you to financial ruin. To your ancient brain, a discount tag or a colorful box is a rare, vital resource that must be gathered immediately. When you browse online, you are not shopping. Your brain thinks you are foraging in a digital forest. And every click of add to cart is the digital equivalent of picking a ripe, life-saving fruit. But the system is broken. In the past, resources were limited. Today, the digital forest is infinite. You can gather thousands of items in minutes, but the ancient reward system doesn't know when to stop. How did evolution design this powerful trap? The secret lies in a single chemical in your head, a molecule that we associate with happiness, but which is actually the hormone of the hunt, dopamine. Let's look at the science of why the thrill of buying is always in the pursuit, never the possession. For a hunter-gatherer, the hunt was a long, exhausting search. Footprints in the dirt, snapped twigs. With every clue you found, your brain released a tiny drip of dopamine, keeping you focused and moving forward. This chemical was the engine of your survival. It did not reward you for eating. It rewarded you for seeking. Today, your scrolling finger is the tracker, and the search results are the footprints. Let's see how this works. To understand the hunt, we must look at how dopamine behaves inside the synapses of your brain. Popular culture calls dopamine the pleasure chemical, but neuroscience tells a very different story. Dopamine is not about pleasure. It is about anticipation. It is the chemical of wanting, not liking. In famous studies, researchers monitored the brain activity of animals during a reward test. They discovered that dopamine peaked not when the animal received the juice, but when they pressed the lever. The moment the reward was actually consumed, the dopamine levels fell back to baseline. This is why the second bite of cake is never as exciting as the expectation of the first. In the wild, this was a perfect mechanism. It kept your ancestors scanning the bush for hours. The thrill was in the possibility. The footprint meant food might be here. The brain kept pushing. Once the prey was caught, the hunt was over. Dopamine dropped, allowing satisfaction to take over. But modern online retail has hacked this loop. It has removed the ending of the hunt. When you scroll through items, your brain gets a continuous stream of minor dopamine drips. Each thumbnail is a footprint. Maybe this item will make my life perfect. The seeking brain is hooked. The click of purchase is the digital throw of the spear. You feel a massive peak of expectation. But the moment the order is placed, the hunt ends. The package is in transit. By the time the box actually arrives at your door, your dopamine levels have already crashed. You open the box, hold the item, and feel nothing. The thrill was never in having the item. It was in the chase. So you throw it aside, open your phone, and start the hunt again. This is the dopamine treadmill, a cycle of endless search, temporary expectation, and instant regret. Why are we so vulnerable to this cycle? Because evolution did not prepare us for abundance. For millions of years, the world was a place of extreme scarcity. Resources were incredibly hard to find. If you found a patch of wild honey, your body did not tell you to eat a small portion. Your brain forced you to eat every drop, because tomorrow, that honey could be gone, eaten by bears. We evolved to gorge on resources whenever they appeared, storing them on our bodies as fat. And we did the same with tools. If you found high-quality flint, you did not leave it behind. You gathered as many rocks as you could carry, because you never knew when you would find flint again. This is the root of the hoarding instinct. To our ancestors, stockpile was survival. But today, we live in a world where stores are open 24/7 and shipping is next day. Your ancient brain doesn't know what a grocery store is. It treats a clearance sale as a survival emergency. Let's look at how modern marketing triggers this deep-seated fear of missing out, the scarcity bias. To understand the power of scarcity, we must look at how the brain reacts when a resource is running out. In evolutionary biology, scarcity is the ultimate threat. A lack of food meant instant extinction. During the long, frozen winters of the Ice Age, resources did not just drop, they vanished completely. Survival depended on your ability to stockpile dried meat, animal hides, dry firewood. The tribe with the largest stockpile survived the winter. The tribe that gathered only what they needed perished. This carved a deep, unyielding cognitive bias into our neural pathways, the scarcity bias. Modern retail marketers know this bias perfectly. They trigger your survival response on purpose. When a website says only 2 items left in stock, or 5 people are viewing this offer, your ancient brain panics. It does not see a hotel room or a pair of sneakers. It sees a dying water hole on the savannah. Your amygdala screams, "A vital resource is disappearing. Gather it immediately before the other hunters take it." You buy the item not because you want it, but because your brain fears the pain of missing out. But once you buy it, you realize the scarcity was artificial. The factory will make millions more. This is how our survival reflexes are turned against us, converting prehistoric fear into modern clutter. But stockpiling wasn't just about physical survival. It was also about how others in your tribe perceived you. In the Stone Age, resources were social currency. A hunter who returned with a massive catch was a hero. Sharing your stockpile proved your hunting skill, your intelligence, and your physical strength. This high status earned you respect, protected you during conflicts, and attracted high-quality mates. A hunter who gathered nothing had zero status. They were ignored, vulnerable, and failed to pass on their genes. We evolved a powerful drive to show others that we possess rare, high-value resources. In the past, this was done with physical items. A necklace of wolf teeth, a rare polished shell. These items were not decoration. They were honest signals of survival, prowess, and social power. Today, the wolf tooth necklace has been replaced by the luxury watch, the designer handbag, or the sports car. When you buy a luxury item with a massive brand logo, you are sending the exact same genetic signal. Your brain is screaming, "Look at my resources. I am a successful hunter. I am worthy of status." This is the resource signaling theory. We buy luxury goods not for their utility, but for their social signaling value. But on the savannah, you had to actually catch the tiger to wear its teeth. Today, you can just swipe a credit card. We go into debt to buy signals of wealth we do not have, trying to impress strangers who do not care. It is a false signal that leaves us biologically satisfied, but financially ruined. How do we escape this dual trap of dopamine hunting and resource signaling? To break the cycle, we must align our modern lives with our deep prehistoric biology. Let's look at how. Once you fall into the trap of buying, a dangerous chemical chain reaction begins, the Diderot Effect. This effect is named after Denis Diderot, a famous French philosopher who lived in the 18th century. Diderot was gifted a beautiful, expensive scarlet robe, but as he put it on, disaster struck. He realized his humble wooden desk and dusty chairs looked incredibly poor compared to his new robe. To fix the mismatch, he bought a new leather chair, a mahogany desk, and expensive paintings. By the end of the spiral, Diderot was completely broke and buried in massive financial debt. He wrote, "I was absolute master of my old robe. I have become the slave of the new one." Today, when you buy a beautiful new shirt, your old, faded pants suddenly look completely out of place. So you buy new pants. But now your shoes look bad. So you buy new shoes, then a new belt. A single purchase has triggered a spiral of consumption, forcing you to replace everything to match. In the Stone Age, resources had to be compatible. If you upgraded your stone point, you had to upgrade the shaft. You had to change the leather bindings to handle the new weight. A single upgrade forced a total system update. This systemic consistency ensured that your hunting kit functioned as a single, lethal unit. Today, companies sell us ecosystems, forcing us to buy their matching chargers, headphones, and cases. We are trapped in spirals of upgrades, chasing a state of complete coordination that never ends. The result is staggering. The average modern home contains over 300,000 individual items. We are drowning in physical possessions, yet biologically, we feel more empty than ever. Because your brain was never designed to find happiness in objects. It was designed to find happiness in security. True ancestral security came not from stuff, but from your relationships and your tribe. When we feel lonely or stressed, we try to fill the social void by scrolling and buying. Hacking your shopping habits doesn't require extreme willpower. It requires aligning with your deep evolutionary biology. Rule 1. Implement the 72-hour delay. When you want to buy something, place it in the cart and wait. This delay cools down the dopamine-seeking loop. Once the anticipation fades, you realize you don't actually need it. Rule 2. Only buy items you can physically touch and hold in a real store. Scrolling on glass screens tricks your visual brain. Physically holding an item activates your tactile sensors, grounding your choice. Rule 3. Perform the Diderot upgrade check before any purchase. Ask yourself, if I buy this new laptop, what else will it force me to replace? Stop the spiral before it starts. Rule 4. Rechannel your foraging drive into ancestral gathering activities. Gardening, hiking, or picking wild fruit satisfy your brain's hardwired need to search, gather, and organize. These activities trigger the exact same dopamine loops, without the empty boxes and mounting debt. Rule 5. Rebuild your social security. Focus on building connections with family and friends. When your social bonds are strong, your brain feels safe, and the urge to buy comfort packages dissolves. These 5 adjustments align your modern life with millions of years of evolutionary design. You will regain control of your home, protect your wealth, and restore peace to your mind. Remember, your ancient brain is not defective. It is simply running a survival program in a world of artificial abundance. The digital forest is no longer your master. You are the master of your own attention. You do not need to keep hunting for plastic tools to feel safe. Your survival is already secure. So close your browser, modern hunter. Step away from the screen and take control of your wealth. Step outside, reconnect with your tribe, and claim the real security of human connection. The savanna of your ancestors is quiet. The hunt for stuff is over. You have won. If you want to master your ancient brain, subscribe to Stickly Primal. The tribe is waiting. Leave a comment below about the most useless thing you've ever bought. Share your story with the camp. Watch our previous video about prehistoric night survival to understand why your brain wakes you up at 3 a.m. Thank you to all our supporters who make these stories possible. You are the strong pillars of our camp. Stay sharp, modern hunter. The digital forest has been won.